Hey there, welcome to CNT Collectibles IMC. Hope you are doing very, very well. Welcome back from a extended weekend. Today we're going to start things off with a little 3 up and 3 down without the 3 up and 3 down. The names on that were actually kind of boring, a bunch of one-offs just kind of going all over the place. And we'll just jump right into players that had a great week on the field, do a couple extra of those. So, yeah, I know I'm doing a baseball video when football is just finished up, especially that first week. So we're going to let the dust settle on that, do one of those in a couple days here. And, it's headed into the playoffs. Still exciting, right? So let's look at the wild card picture real quick in the AL. And Toronto has overtaken the Yankees for that wild card spot. Boston and the Yankees had a decent cushion heading into the last month of the season. But Yankees going 2-8 over their last 10, and Toronto absolutely on fire, winning 9 of their last 10. Has flipped that, and so the Yankees are sitting a game out of the wild card. So there's still plenty of time to play, but it's Boston and New York are not wanting to wrap this up. Oakland and Seattle are finding themselves just a few back as well. So we'll see how that plays out. Could get interesting. Beyond that, nothing much is likely to happen. You can see that the Rays have probably wrapped things up. Houston in a little bit better shape than the wild card teams over Oakland, Seattle, and Chicago is also punched their ticket for the most part. Over in the NL, we're looking at San Francisco, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. And again, the Dodgers probably have wrapped things up. Cincinnati's got a little bit of work to do here. San Diego's not taking advantage of their 4-6 over the last 10 games, as they're also 4-6. They're kind of matching things, and they sit just mere. Really, they're pretty much tied. So you can see that they've played just a couple less games there, so they're right there against Cincinnati. St. Louis is on their tail. Philadelphia and even the Mets are not out of it. So those are the players, if you're trading, you maybe want to focus on heading into the last month of the season. All right, take a look at a few players who've had great weeks, and with the Blue Jays going 9 for their last 10, obviously we're going to see a lot of Blue Jays, not Brewers, Blue Jays. And Teoscar Hernandez will lead it off for us. 13 for 26, which is good for a 500 average. 3 home runs, 13 runs scored, 10 RBI. In the Sunday game, he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded, and then had a grand slam a few innings later to do most of the damage. But these guys have been on a tear. There was a 10-run third inning in that game against the Yankees, and a lot of Blue Jays took advantage of that. So here's a 28-year-old, almost 29. With 7.4 wins to his career. We've talked about him in the past year, so he really hasn't had that huge breakout season. This year's terrific. He's up over 300. He's got 27 home runs. It's a great season for him. He'll be 4+ wins, which is all-star level. But for that longer term, probably a little too late for him to put up that 7-year peak of 6-7 wins. So he's in our trading basket. So it doesn't mean there's nothing to do with him. Just you don't want to be holding the bag maybe when the music stops. And so you can see that his 2017 Top Series 1 baseball card is trading around $1. And so you've got downside to 50 cents. He's at the kind of the upper end of what people have been willing to pay without these one-offs here. So there's probably not a lot to do on the base. If it was a chrome card, that'd be a pretty good price. With the base, you'll need him to keep doing what he's doing and make a playoff run, and then maybe you can get something upwards of $1.50 or $2 or something like that. So right now, kind of in the middle of the range. I don't know how much interest there will be. I think people are looking at those longer term numbers, are more savvy these days, and saying, I'm not so sure on this one here. But I've got a little bit of Teoscar Hernandez, not enough to make a lot of money or lose anything, but I don't know that I would do much more at this time. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. on a roll the last couple of weeks here. 10 for 26, 3 home runs, 9 runs scored, 12 RBI. Also had a grand slam and a 2-run home run. And so that power is starting to come along just a little bit here. So 28 years old for the most part. And just a handful of WAR here. Really hasn't even cracked that 2-win season as of yet. He could do it this year, but it's 5 wins again. This is a trading basket type guy, which is too bad. 283 average. The strikeout rate's up 20%. He walks a decent amount here. The power is, again, he's a 20-25 home run guy for the most part. So really profiles as a nice hitter. So for whatever reason, just this is his first time getting full-time at bats, and at age 27, that's just perhaps a little too late. So again, probably more of a trading basket type player. 2018 Topps Chrome update sitting around $1, and so that's what we look for, kind of out of the Chrome. So downside to 50 cents buck, but there's decent upside here. Again, if he keeps what he's doing here, and if he's a playoff hero, you could see this upwards of that 225 area here. So right now it's resistance, but if it breaks up, breaks up and out, you could see some decent upside to that one there, and there may be people that'll be interested. And again, he could put up some great seasons over the next couple of years. So maybe you do a couple now. If it drops to 50 cents, do something else, and and do a couple more and see how that goes. I don't think that price point's gonna hurt here. Andrew Benintendi, all right, 14 for 28, another 500 a week, 3 home runs, 4 runs scored, 4 RBI, and he had a couple of games with 5 RBI, which is good for him here. But 27 years old, 10 wins to his name. Had a really nice season in 2018 with Boston, but hasn't been able to repeat it. Didn't do it before, hasn't done it since. So 267 hitter, 15 home runs. This is a trading basket type player for the most part. Again, where's that peak coming from? Is he all of a sudden going to be 5, 6, 7 win player for 7 or 8 years? Unlikely. So a trading basket type player, and Starstock is good for that. They don't pay me anything to say that. I just think it is. So 2017 Top Series 1 baseball, the base card here, sitting around that 20-cent area, which is where we see a lot of those kind of spec players. So he's firmly in there, and that's the price you pay. And you want to start looking for upside. Well, are we going to get it from Kansas City this year? Unlikely. So you'd be holding this one for a while till the projections come out next year, and if people are really high on him, then you could see a buck out of it or something like that. But very little chance of him doing something in the playoff or getting in a postseason award to make some noise. Okay, Marcus Semien, another Blue Jay, and a guy that we've talked about recently, but he just keeps doing it here. So 12 for 33, 4 home runs, 8 runs scored, and 12 RBI. 30 years old, nearly 31 with 25 wins. And so what we said a couple weeks ago when he made this list is he going to be able to hang around and put up another 35 wins? Can he do another 7 years of 5-win ball, or six years of what he's doing here? Unlikely at that age, not impossible. Or can he play till 40 and put up 4-win seasons and average that? So it's certainly possible. His hitting profile, 270 hitter, the strikeout rate, the walk rate, all looks great. The power the last few years has really been pretty terrific. That isolated power is really crept up here. So not last year, but the year before than this. So is this him, and can he keep it going for a few more years? That's interesting. It's unlikely for him to keep producing at this level, but I'm certainly not taking it off the table. That's for darn sure. So you can see that for the season, he's right on Vlad's tail here for wins above replacement. So this is all over all over the major leagues here. This is both leagues here. And he's in second and has a decent lead over Harper, Tatis, Mullins, and these are your NL MVP. If he was in the NL, he'd be your front runner here. So really, again, really pretty terrific season here. He's just got his teammate ahead of him, and probably the guy who again, he's hitting a lot of home runs. The average isn't great. He strikes out a ton. He's been a pretty decent pitcher, so it's unusual, and I think he'll get the award based on that. But these guys should certainly be in the conversation. So Marcus Semien, 2014 Top Series 2 baseball card. The Starstock 8 sitting at 350. So you've got your upside around $4, your downside around 250. So there's probably more downside than upside. But if he keeps this up, and again, playoff action, could be super interesting. You can see that Starstock B, it hasn't been a sale for a while, so who knows how it shakes out in the near term. Starstock B sitting at 50 cents, which may represent a little bit better value, as there's been buying in that area here. And you can see a little bit more juice from that orange. All right, Bryce Harper, who's 9 for 22 for the week, 5 home runs, 6 runs scored, 8 RBI, and he's got a 9-game hit streak going here. So he's really turning it on here to finish up the season. And again, they're not that far out of the playoffs here, and he will be talked about for MVP as well, probably Tatis, but he'll get some talk, and he should. So 28 years old, almost 29. He'll turn 29 during the offseason. 5 wins, almost 6 wins on the season here, and he had that monster season of 2015 with the MVP, and since then he's been all-star level player when he's been able to put in a full season, although that was a full season and it wasn't good. This was a partial season that was really good, so full season, not that, it's all right. Full season, there we go. You're getting back on the track here. So interesting. This is a Hall of Fame type path here, so really helpful with that. So can he continue to be a 4 or 5 win player for the next 5 or 6 years? And again, at his age, yes, he can. So you have to really consider him on that track. And on Starstock with the Series 2 baseball. This is the Screaming variation. He's got a lot of variations, so you can't expect him to be this $300-400 card because he has so many. Well, you can expect it, I suppose. He's all there, but he's got so many different base card variations he maybe doesn't get up to that level of the Mookie or anything like that. So you can see that his Screaming variation has been trending lower here. So it's difficult to say where support comes in. This could be it. But maybe it comes back a little more, and it's really tough to say. You can see that the A's been ripping just a little bit here off of this level of support, so there's a little bit of downside, a little more upside here. I would favor that more if they were more in line for the playoffs, and he started to get a lot more MVP chatter. Maybe he's getting a lot here. I'm just not that in tune with it at this time here. So. I like Bryce Harper, and I think, you get what you can. But maybe there's not a lot of, maybe the movement's more choppy in the interim. All right, Juan Soto, 12 for 25, nearly 400 with a home run, 7 runs scored, and 4 RBI. So not a lot of power this week, but he's sure hitting the ball well. I mean, he walks more than he strikes out. Maintains his average over 300, and weighted runs created. That's MVP level stuff is what that is. And again, with the wins above replacement over 5, what he's doing by age 22, nearly 23. I mean, there's guys that aren't even. Look at a lot of these prospects, Bo Bichette and Luis Robert, and I like them. I like them plenty, but they're coming up at age 23, 24 with a handful of awards. Juan Soto sitting at 16 already by that age. I mean, this is an incredible path. Right now, you're just praying for health because this is what he's doing and coming up at his age and what he's doing is amazing stuff. And this is one of the players that anytime there's a pullback, I'm just buying, what I can. And again, health we can't predict, but everything else. If you want to look at any hitting metric, he's right at the top of the league for the most part here. So trending down just a little bit lately in the weighted on base department here, but he's the best at taking walks. He's got exit velocity and slugging percentages that are right up there with anybody in the league. And so anytime you can get a Juan Soto, I think you get a Juan Soto. And again, health we can't predict, but the rest of the stuff is sure lining up here. So you can see that his PAC 10 on StarStock has really been trending down. You can see that the on eBay those prices are in that 125, 130 range. So you get a slight discount on StarStock on some of these things here. So the PSA 9 maybe a little bit rich compared to the 10, but I think people will come in. It's a little bit lower price point, and that's just fine. StarStock A right in between the 9 and the 10. So everything just kind of lines up. I just think a couple more years of this, we'll look at this price and be like, wow, that was a pretty good deal. So all right, Frankie Lindor, wrap it up with the hitters here. 7 for 27, 4 home runs, 8 runs scored, 8 RBI. Most of that damage coming in the Sunday night game against the Yankees, where he had 3 home runs in a single game. So he's not dead yet. And the Mets are again they're not making a run as much as the guys ahead of them aren't doing much here to pull away in that playoff picture here. But he's just 27 years old with 30 wins. So that's a big deal here. He was able to put up some pretty nice seasons. It's the last couple have fallen off decently for the most part here. A lot of that wins came from him. He's an elite level hitter for a season, but he's been able to put up a lot of defensive WAR as well. So that's sliding just a bit here. But this on the season, 227 with 239 BABIP. But this is largely BABIP related stuff, I believe. There's a few things that would say, all right, he's deserving of a lower batting average, but for the most part, I think he's getting a bit unlucky. 17 home runs, so the power's coming out just a little bit here. He's striking out a bit more than he has in the past, but he's taking some more walks here. And so if we hop over to Baseball Savant here, you can see his exit velocity. Again, he's not a power hitter, so we're not super worried about that. It's trending in the right direction in weighted base average here. But one of the things that I saw for the most part here was in his fly ball percentage here. He's hitting more fly balls, and his exit velocity is down from where it was a couple of years ago. So you're putting more balls in the air, and they're not, they don't have much opportunity to leave the park. They're going to become fly balls here. So I'd like to see him bring that level down just a little bit, hit some more line drives, and use his speed to get on base and get around here. So, but for the most part, they're not getting his hitting profile. He's actually chasing fewer balls outside of the zone, and he's just not squaring up the ball as much, but he's not lost at the plate by any stretch here. So you can see his 2015 update series rookie card down to $100 here. probably a pretty decent level when you're looking at a future Hall of Famer potential. So he's on that path. Can fix this year a bit. If he keeps doing what he did this year, then we have to reevaluate. But if he rights the ship in New York, then I think we're back on track here. That PSA 10 would indicate something like like $120 PSA 10 here. So see what happens in that. Starstock B hasn't moved a ton, right around its lows. If you're interested in trading, that may be the way to go, unless you So I think that's where I would look. But if you're looking for a high grade example, this is about as good a price as we've had for some time for Frankie Lindor, who again, this could be an adjustment year. You may fix things next year, and then those prices will look like a deal. All right, so a couple pitchers here to wrap it up. Corbin Burnes, who combined for a no-hitter with Josh Hader. So he got the win. He was in there for 8 innings, struck out 14, walked just one guy. That was his flaw here. So 26 years old, almost 27, 9 wins to his name. Pitchers get started a little later. That's all right. This is Cy Young / MVP level stuff here. So pretty incredible. We don't have to say too much about it. He's walking almost nobody and striking out a ton. And so if we look at the major league leaders for pitchers right now, you've got Corbin Burnes kind of by himself. Zach Wheeler having a terrific season, but he's not at Corbin Burnes level. And you look at his ERA, it's he and Max Scherzer jockeying for that lead, and Corbin Burnes is pitching better than that level. He's pitching at a 1.5 ERA level. xFIP just a little, right around where he's at, but the fielding end of pitching. So if we normalize things just a little bit, we can see Max Scherzer nearly a point differential. So that would indicate he's getting a bit lucky here. But Corbin Burnes, under the hood, would be your best pitcher here. So again, Walker Buehler is getting a lot of the love, 14-3. Gausman 14-5, and you look at Scherzer 14-4. He may get some run, and we'll talk about him in just a second. But if I had a vote, it would probably be that guy right there. So you can see on Baseball Savant, he's just leading the league in just about every pitching category that there is. So over at Starstock is 2019 Topps Chrome. Again, dollar should be your price for most average players, and he's not an average player here, so he's getting a little bit of a pop as of late here. So kind of $2 is your area here, maybe something in that $3 area. With upside to maybe $6 if he's able to get that Cy Young award here, or the Brewers are able to do something in the playoffs here. So this is a decent gap. See if you can get something between that $2.75 and that $4 area. Start setting bids in there. But this might be your floor for now with a decent upside. Just immediately set your sails for that $5.56 area if you wanna dump it on any news. And all right. So got 2 more here. Max Scherzer, 37 years old with 65 wins this year. This last outing he got his 3,000th strikeout. So that's a big deal. That should lock up his Hall of Fame numbers. He just really had a terrific season here. Look at this peak. 5, 6, 7 wins. Doing it again here at an age. Can you just hang around for another year or two just to put some icing on the cake? But there's the big number right there, 3,000. That gets him in. That gets him in here. So we'll have to go to do some. Starstock doesn't have a whole lot of information. Card Ladder doesn't really have anything on them. Card Ladder, come on. So we'll have to do some old-fashioned tape reading here, and you can see that as 2008 Topps update is getting a lot of love lately. You can already see it in the headlines here. 3,000 strikeouts, and so people are paying for that. I don't think you have to. You might get the Cy Young, might get a pop, but what is this team getting? Who knows? With the playoffs and everything, offseason may be a better price. As you can see, these numbers are just ripping from that upper 500s, even lower. The BGS 9.5 up to over 715. So I think patience may be rewarded on that one here. But again, with the playoffs and Cy Young, you might pay to be patient on that one. A lot of news coming in here, and we'll wrap it up with Sandy Alcantara, who had Scherzer, a couple of games, 16 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, just amazing stuff. He only gave up 1 earned run. He's had I think last 5 starts. He's given up 1 earned run over his last 5 starts total, which is amazing stuff here. So, and Sandy Alcantara, last one here. What are we looking at? 9 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 14 strikeouts, which is a good career high, 1 walk, and a solo home run to Daruma was really a nice outing overall, so it didn't even ruin it. But he didn't get the win, so couldn't get that one. I think they lost 2-1 or something like that. Or he certainly did his part. Did terrific here. So 26 years old. He just turned 26. Yeah, just turned 26 years old. So 3.5 win season. He's pitching at the near ace level here. So yeah, the xFIP 350, 3.24 ERA. Not striking out a ton of guys here, but he's really dropped that walk rate, which is a good sign here. So I think this is an interesting enough player, but he's on the Marlins, and I don't think anybody else is going to find him that darn interesting. So 2018 Top Series 2, you can have it for, again, in that speculation area here, and he seems like he's decent enough to speculate on if you're into pitchers with decent potential upside. So, all right, I've taken up enough of your time, especially we're supposed to be talking about football today, but it is what it is. We'll bring in Tommy for some football in a couple of days here when all the when tonight's game, when the dust settles from tonight's game, we've got everybody on the radar here. So I appreciate you watching. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.